and then the conclusion. First is the Stone Age. Please read all of the bullets.
A period of history when stones were used to make tools for survival. The term conjures an image of man and woman dressed in skins, huddling for a fire in a cave. Early settlers were used to be called nomads, permanent settlers. Ancient artwork depicted religious symbols, a wide array of organisms from nature and activities of everyday life.
So immediately know, the moment that someone asks you to conjure an image of the people living in the Stone Age, you immediately think of people living inside the cave, hunting for wild animals so that they can have food, or the paintings that they have are the kind where you find it inside the cave. Now, in the Stone Age, they have artistic achievements. These 5 are these artistic achievements that they had during that period. First is the cave paintings, petroglyphs, sculptures, functional art, rock engravings, and carving. So these are the type of arts that you will find during that period. And if you can imagine any art or visualization, if you can imagine a visualization of these art, then don't worry because we have an example. Here is the cave painting. Now can you guess what is the content inside this painting?
Animals.
Animals. Very good, because usually in the Stone Age, they would depict the lives of animals, humans, or symbols. So here we see that they drew a group of animals heading somewhere. Another, not another example, but another example for the type of art that they have is petroglyphs. Now, do you have any idea what this drawing is?
May symbols.
It has symbols. What else? Patterns. So, those are good guesses because this does have plenty of patterns inside it. However, this is a drawing of a human. So back then, this is how they drew a person. So this is an example of a petroglyph. Usually they carve it. Yes. focus more on the shape, while they focus on the style. Now, during the Stone Age, we had three periods that are Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. So Paleolithic is the late years of the Old Stone Age, while Mesolithic is the middle, while Neolithic is the New Stone Age. Now first, let us get to know the Paleolithic. Please read the two lists.
Lifestyle. Humans were hunter-gatherers, relying on hunting animals and gathering plants for survival. They lived in caves or temporary shelters. Invention or discovery. The use of fire and development of basic tools made from stone, gold, and wood were significant milestones.
So the livelihood during the Paleolithic period is the classic imagination that we have for the people living in the Stone Age, where they live inside the cave, they hunt for food, and yes, those are the type of those are the type of livelihood that people during this period live. And the invention that they had is it's mentioned that they had tools and wood, which means this implies that it was during this period where they finally were able to discover fire. So during this period, they were finally able to cook their own food. They didn't need to eat it raw anymore. Now, here is an example, a visual example of how the people lived during that time. So as you can see, they live inside a cave, and then here is an animal that they caught, which they are going to cook now, since you can see that there's a fire. So this is the type of living that they lived back then during this period that is. Now the middle period, which is Mesolithic, please read.
Lifestyle. This transitional period saw humans beginning to shift from primarily hunting and gathering towards settled lifestyles. They started domesticating animals and experimenting with agriculture. The development of microliths, small shards of stone, and the identification of dogs were taken investment.
So during the middle period, people have finally agreed to live in a much more domesticated life than living in a wild life where they would go and live inside a cave. Now they thought of living next to bodies of water because they want to learn agriculture. Agriculture where they'll catch fish for food and plant crops for food instead of going to hunt out in the open and look for food. So they would rather now live next to food resources that they could find. And it was also during this time where they can finally, groom dogs as their companions so that they can have companions. So here is an example, a visual example of the people living during that time. As you can see, they are now living next to bodies of water instead of inside of a cave. And here you can see that this is the type of housing that they have. However, it looks like the type of house that you can easily destroy because during this time they didn't really like the idea of living permanently in one location. So they would move from one area to another. That is why their houses looks like looks very vulnerable. So the livelihood back then during the middle period were fishing and planting. Now for the last period, Neolithic, please read. they have planted plenty of crops and resources for them to take. And because people have chosen for agriculture now instead of hunting, they are able to improve their tools for farming. So the tools that they have now are very advanced compared to the tools they had from the first period where most of the tools they had were made of stones. Now they were able to invent wheels and any other farming tools that they could use. So here is a visual presentation. Now, unlike the last period, the houses look very vulnerable. However, now it is the type of house where you can no longer take it with you to travel. There's no grave on that land. And as you can see, instead of hunting for food, they are now, what do you call it? Well, not crops. They have animals that they own so that they can also use these animals for trading because back then it was trading, not selling. So they would trade these animals for food that they want or need. And that would be all for the Neolithic.
So during the prehistoric art, it was a gradual shift from nomadic lifestyle to permanent settlement. So I guess Ms. Kamali already emphasized the nomadic. However, I will repeat it twice, or I will repeat it again that nomadic lifestyle talks about living in uncertainty, wherein a group of people moves in one place to another to seek for shelter and for food. However, in the historic art, they choose to live in a permanent settlements wherein they build their house, share with the needs. When they build their house, they created tools in farming. Then, at the same time, during the prehistoric art, the emergence of art, or their works, or paintings, sculptures, and other form of arts depicts on humans, animals, and natural habitats because their art is more on the realistic style because marami siya nag-document siya sa life nila before. Then, Paleolithic art. So, the impact of climate change, it tells that the Paleolithic art is, if we say Paleolithic art, it encompasses the different art forms during the early civilization, wherein it talks about cave paintings, sculptures, and carvings. And then, it tells that during mag-focus na sa cave painting, it tells that it is the impact of climate change because during that time, since the climate change man siya, kung mabugnaw, mangita sila lugar, kung asa sila mastay ka, makafeel sila warm. Mato na, punta sila sa cave. And then, at the same time, dito sa cave, dito sila form of arts. Ang nag-decorate sila. And then, caves become protected heavens and sites for early art. Mato dito siya dito sila nag-paint atong ilang carvings. Dito sila nag-paint sa walls sa ilang cave. There are different reasons. It's either nag-document sila sa ilang life, and at the same time, it is also something na talks about sila religion or beliefs na where dapat lang i-paint ito lahat kung ika na iampuan. Then, the next one is the Lascaux Cave that is located in France. So, in the Lascaux Cave, there was a artwork that accidentally discovered by two boys. Na-discover siya kaya hero nila nagdagan. And then, ang mula kay na-stop dito sa lungag sa cave. Pagso nila, dito nila nakitaan ang Hall of Bulls. Wherein kuhaan siya kanang painting na dito siya about bulls na napakita na siya ni Nice. And later on, I will also show the picture of it. Then the paintings depicted animals with remarkable naturalism. Just like what I said earlier, their painting depicts on realism or naturalism na naturally paint kay totoo ang mga nakita. And then use of contours, dark colors, and shading techniques. They use these contours, dark colors, and shading techniques to emphasize the form of the animal, the facial forms na brush up realistic or 3D. Then, we have here, siya ang example sa Lascaux Cave or there are techniques is the use of spray painting. So the spray painting ay magkabantiwan ng bone marrow sa animal. Di ba, if wala na siya isulod sa center, malungat na siya. So what they did is they use or define ground pigments, for example, charcoal. Ibutan nila ito sa kanapikas kung magdilan tayo bukol. Bato siya, mura siya bukay. Mura siya ganang earliest form of spray painting. Then use of foreshortening and contrasting lights and shadows. So that time, just like ako ginag earlier na, another style na nila or technique na gamit sila foreshortening and contrasting lights and shadows to depict realistic effects sa ilang mga paintings or sculptures. Then, the purpose of cave painting. So it tells that cave painting is not for decorative purposes. Kaya, as we all know, caves are kind of private, so doon tuyuon ng cave siya. Yeah, if we want to decorate things, dapat visible siya sa tao na yun, right? Basta nga, ingat sila, it's not about decorative. Then it would have served as sanctuaries for religious rituals. Just like what I said earlier, na ilang mga drawings or paintings or sculptures was used as a symbol for nun or bino ganit. Then believe in the connection between art and real life events because their artworks depends on how they live their daily lives. For example, another art also is in that time kay Kato. They painted a hunter hunting for kanang kuhan. Nalaging pigs. Kanang mawala mo. Oo, wild boar. Then, I'll give the floor to the next reporter.
So this case is culture called the Venus of the Lake. So what have you observed in the picture? Na ay,
It has big boobs,
oh na big boobs ko na dyan.
big belly, small belly.
Sa ito siya.
Small belly.
Wala na. Wala yan na. Wala yung Iyarin mo, yung buwan niya. Sabihin mo lang. Wala yung Oh,
Wala daw.
So this is the Venus of Venus. So it is an 11.1 centimeter tall or equivalent to 4.4 inches in. Ano na siyang kalamo? Oh, 4.4 inches or 11.1 centimeter. So Venus figure is estimated to have been made 30 years ago. And it was recovered on August 7, 1908 by the group led by Joseph Zolmati at the Paleolithic site near Willendorf. So Willendorf is a place in Austria. And Austria is a part of European country. The site where it was unearthed by the Olchasa River, which is called the Danube River. Because of the rich resources of the Danube River, so it was believed na ang mga tao sa una or the prehistoric people kay nagpuyog doon sa atong river. So dito na nakita na kay Venus of or nakapigurate na itawag ang Venus of the So again, ang yangitas nun kay OP 11.1 cm or equivalent to 4.4 inches. And it has oversized grills na kaming large hips and also the round abdomen. Yeah, it has basic features like wala siya now and also wala siya kampot to yung arms because the focus is only about the mobility or the reproductive system. Everyone please read.
Small sculpture representing fertility. Abstract affection of woman
kay it only focuses the reproductive part or the reproductive features rather than the physical functionality. Now let's move on to the Neolithic art or what we call the New Stone Age. So more stable lifestyle, cultivation of wine and domestication of animals, and also development of monumental architecture. So during the Paleolithic art or the Old Stone Age, so lifestyle sa mga tao, itong mga lifestyle wherein the people ay walay permanent place, so they travel from places to another place para makita ang buwan, pagkaon. So during the Neolithic art or the New Stone Age, they learn to cultivate land ng dili na also ng farming, and also permanent places. They learn to build structures, and one of the famous structures during the Neolithic art or the New Stone Age kay kaning gitawag na Stonehenge. Any Stonehenge located in southern England. So what can we observe in the picture?
Formation sa mga stones.
Ay, rejection sa host.
Ay, di ako nakabagla sa salita bakuan, Brie. Brie ba?
Ano yung sa tree?
Kasi yung sa Brie ba, yung mama na yung bear. Yung brush na lang wala ko sa papa.
So the Stonehenge believed that it was built around 4000 BCE or before Christ era. So the purpose remains a mystery. So the purpose of this monument or the purpose of the Stonehenge remains a mystery. Some say that it was a temple, possibly a temple. Some scholars propose that Stonehenge served as a site for spiritual or religious ceremonies, possibly related to ancestor worship or other ritualistic practices. And also, it is a complex calendar tracking sun and moon movements. So the alignment of stones, it is in circular pattern or circular form. So the alignment of the stones with celestial events such as solstices indicates that Stonehenge may have functioned as an ancient observatory, enabling the tracking of solar and lunar cycles. So again, ang purpose na dito ko ni Stonehenge or kaning Stonehenge na nalocate sa Southern England guy, walay fixed or specific na purpose because some say it was specific, it's built because it was a temple or a kupan kay it was used as a tracking of solar or lunar cycles. And next, we have the Egyptian art.
Okay, now let's move on to the Egyptian art. So, the first bullet, fertile land, the Nile River shaped life and was worshipped as a god. So, ano ka nga? So, fertile land. So, katong Nile rivers, are we familiar with Nile River, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the narrow stretch of fertile land along the Nile, katong sa river, ang ibig niya is, ano siya, the area along the Nile River is called Kemet or Blackland. So it is perfect for farming. So na siya contribute sa mga Egyptian. So ang river is makasustain siya o kanang water, and also ang kilig niya is matamnan siya makasustain siya o makaon nila. So muna is nito sila nga dapat siya i-worship as God. So yun kay ilahang kilig. Okay, so next is art was simply linked to religion as spiritually. Okay, so with this came the notion that the art is something that had been or associated with religion. So okay, so the Egyptian civilization can be divided into three periods. So first is the Old, then Middle middle, and then the New Kingdom. Okay, so looking at the three periods, it can be noticed that the Egyptian, okay, so ingon sila, ang art should be something religious and spiritual. So muna pagtuo sa mga Egyptian. Okay, during the Old Kingdom, okay, it was evident that religion was bound to afterlife. But the tombs were not just for giving. So kailan na to kanang one, kita na salita na to Tomb Raider, ano ba na? O, diba, kapatay mo ato, nato sila durang kanang langog, gani, ina sila di ko, pressure ba siguro to. Ano na, kasi siya, nani siya kanto, kasi, kato gani, patay ito si, papa mo niya, patay na siya, yung muragi, nanagi, mummy form, okay, so, the tombs were not just for keeping the dead bodies of important people, particularly the Pharaoh. Okay? Okay, kung nakalugan sa mga kinawa ng salita ng Jesus Christ, paano kaya sila? Okay, so they also serve as a shelter for journey, which is the afterlife. Okay, so decorated tombs, kailangan ng dekorasyonan. Okay? Dekorasyonan na nila ang kanang buwan. So, dili lang ka ng tao, dapat na nila kanang mga decoration. Okay? Decorated tombs with objects and scenes from daily life, being afterlife of civilization. So, dito sila na kanang buwan, ang afterlife, after death. So, kanang buwan, decoration na nila, guys. Doon, simple continuation na siya after silang mamatay. Okay? So, figures had distinct styles, profile heads, and frontal eyes, and clear body parts. Okay, mo na siya pero sa klaro ko na siya ang yahang head na kay iputos ko na siya. Okay, iputos ko na siya dito. Ang yahang klase sa kaputos kay kung naman tanan ng mami no, kuwan siya dapat pumajud ni siya ang tao, diba? Okay. Next is the normal palette symbolizes the unification of Egypt and mark the start of their civilization. Okay. Okay, so Egypt was not immune from leaders and eventually fell into the hands of Hyksos. Okay, so the Narmer palette symbolizes, Narmer palette. So one of the cosmetic palettes found in Egypt was called Narmer palette. Okay. So, okay, so ang mga Egypt is wala sila na-immune sa mga foreign invaders. Pero, eventually they fell into the hands of Hyksos. So, Egypt was invaded by the Hyksos who brought new weapons and horses. So, wala sila na-immune sa mga invaders, pero na-invade niya po sila sa mga Hyksos nga mao'y naka-contribute nila of new weapons and horses. So after defeating them, the Egyptians started the New Kingdom. During this time, they expanded their land, became wealthier, and achieved both economic and political stability. Okay, during the New Kingdom, they introduced mortuary temples built from natural rock, which were used as places for both worship and remembrance. Okay, so during sa New Kingdom is nag-introduce sila o kanaang nagtukod sila dili na katong parihatong sa kuan gali sa ilang itang ang mga patay dili nato kung nagtukod kanang lumet ko ginatag ba nagtukod sila kung dili pa nakatong kuan katong barami dili pa na mao so nagtukod sila og motor temple, okay, gamit ang natural rock. Okay, so after the
kani sila si kani sila si King Akhenaton and Queen Nefertiti is kanang mayong natin sila duha kay nasa ilahang kanaang paan sa unang panahon nga pwede na sila mo saman pakasal sa ilahang igsuon nana sa ilahang kanang patakaran nila sa ilahan ng totoo, okay? So, he moved the capital to Tel Amarna. So, during na sa pag-lead ni King Akhenaton and Queen Nefertiti. So, during his reign, King Amenhotep wanted to revolutionize the arts and religion. Okay, so during sa anang time, si King Amenhotep changed his name to panisipan na ang Amenhotep kay mo siya si King Akhenaton. So during that time, iyang gi-change ang iyang name into Akhenaton to honor Aton. Si Aton mo siya ang sun, the sun god. Okay, making shift to worshiping only one God. Okay, so worshiping only one God. So ikan sa kanaang polytheism. So polytheism mo na siya ang kuan kanang nag-worship kung daghan na God. Iyang i-convert ito during sa iyang time is i-convert niya into polytheism, which is mo worship lang usa ka Ginoo. Okay?
Okay, so during the 18th century, the Pharaoh and Queen Nefertiti actually ruled together because before monarchy can rule cooperatively. Unlike the generation, the king must be mga kasunod. So just a sort of background. So this is Nefertiti. Ang iyang image kay made of limestone. So what happened was, her identity actually remained mystery. Not until 1912, someone discovered a statue. And then they were able to find out that it was Nefertiti. That is why when you search online on Google, this image is really popular. So it is actually the symbol of power or an iconic symbol of woman. Na babae guys, hindi siya makalim. So, everyone can you read?
What was the king of the ancient dynasty of ancient Egypt? Great royal wife of Pharaoh. Nefertiti is one of the most recognizable Egyptian queens of ancient Egypt. Famed for her beauty and fertility, and she has been attributed with changing the religion from polytheism to monotheism. Her long neck symbolizes beauty, grace, and elegance.
Okay, it's a bit long, but to sum it up, all of it describes Nefertiti. So, she is an ideal symbol of human way before because of her beauty, of her fertility. So, it was being said that before, if you had long neck, you are actually considered as beautiful. That is why she is beautiful. Aside from beauty, aside from outside appearance, Nefertiti actually also contributed to the history or to the religion or history of Egypt. Because again, she ruled with her wife, her husband. Aside from that, he also the reason why there is Armana. When we say Armana, it is a sudden shift of religion or tradition. So way before, they believed that there is many gods or the polytheism, but because of Nefertiti, she was able to influence everyone to believe only to one God. That is why monotheism, that is Aton, or some would say Aten, is the son of God. That is why in the Egyptian palace, you could see a lot of carvings on sun and any other symbols just to honor their God. It is the God of sun.
So, she is also known as the perfect one has arrived. So there is no unity in Egypt before, but because of the reign of Nefertiti, with the help of the Pharaoh, there is change and there is civilization. So right now, let's continue with the next report.
Okay, and now let's dig deeper about the Great Pyramid of Giza. So this massive structure was built during the Old Kingdom, ancient Egypt, over 1,000 years ago. So it was created as a tomb for the pharaohs, the rulers of Egypt. Mas ang mga pharaohs. So it was constructed. So as you can see sa picture, you can see how huge it is. It was created over 2 million limestone blocks. Imagine nyo na siya katagal. Pile. So it is not just pile of blocks, but also it's a powerful symbol of Egyptians' advanced engineering skills. So they figure out how to build something that is truly magnificent. So that's okay. So as you can see the picture, stones are there. So he used sa pag-drag is wooden rollers of ropes. Kung ilang gamit sa pag-drag. So wala tayo sila yung mga kwanto. Ang lahat yung gamit sa pag-drag pa doon sa plato sa high ground. Right? Ropes so wooden rollers. So and after it arrives sa face sa plato ay ang mga stone cutters sila ang ilang ikat nito ilang shape ito para tumang ilang shape and then ilang i-stack ito precise dyan ba nga align dyan siya align ang lang gigamit sa pag-lift up is ang mga pulleys o ropes para lift up para ma-arrange siya ma-stack in siya as mo siya pyramid and then sinipod siya blocks by blocks. Okay. And then, ilang refined. Like, ilang kabiran ang outside the pyramid, they have to cover the smooth layer of limestone. Ilang siya nakabiran ng smooth layer para hindi siya tanaw. So, this pyramid, this project not just only reflects, not just only shows the advanced engineering skills, the advanced engineering capabilities of the Egyptians, but also show the power the pharaohs had over the people. So that time, the pharaohs man na kaya so that's why lahat ng tunganan, di ba? So the pyramids. So it shows the power they had over the people. And a lot of workers suffered this time, and some even died during the construction. Yes, in a nutshell. So the inside was lavishly decorated. So ang sword is hindi siya pag-decorate na nakaparak sa mga thieves. So mura ko siya ang nakaproblema ang pagkatayal kay kabantay mo. Kita mo sa movie na The Tomb Raider. Yes, katanyat ko sila dito nag-relain grupo sa thieves. Tapos sila treasure, sunod siya ang examples na nindot siya. Kaya ang sudanan niya is mga treasure, mga nindot, mga treasure ay lang design. Yes. Okay. This great pyramid of Giza is a testament of brilliance and a cost of ancient Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, ancient Egyptians.
Alright, so aside from Queen Nefertiti, we also have King Tutankhamen. So King Tutankhamen was also known as King Tut, who was an Egyptian pharaoh that reigned for about a decade during the 18th dynasty of 1324 BCE. And then he became king at a very young age and died at the age of 18. So he became king at a very young age because after King Akhenaton died at the age of 9, like he was already the king of Egypt. And then after that, so cause of his death, it remained mystery and curious because some scientists say na ang iyang cause of death kay kuan raw infected from a broken leg, and then the other one is kaniyang malaria or kaniyang DNA analysis ba nga infected dun sa iya. And then ang naka-discover po sa iyang tomb is the British archaeologist, which is Howard Carter, in 1922 in the Valley of the Kings. So, what have you observed in his tomb?
Export heroes.
So, kaniyang ang iyang tomb, guys, it contains over 5,000 artifacts, including the solid gold coffin, and then he also has jewelry and amulets lay upon the mummy and its wrappings, and much as well kay ang iyang tomb kay nag-contain po siya og kanyang mga jewelries, chariots, and even statues and furniture. And then, so though he was a minor pharaoh, his tomb made him world famous. And then his artifacts as well have been displayed in museums worldwide. So, we can see that probably one of the most greatest discoveries from the Egyptian civilization was the tomb of King Tutankhamen. So in conclusion, please read all the bullets.
Early human shifted from a nomadic lifestyle to a permanent one. This transition led to the development of early civilizations. Artifacts provide valuable insights into prehistoric life. They help modern society understand ancient cultures. Art thrived in Egyptian civilization across the Old, Middle, and New Kingdoms.
So during the prehistoric periods, early humans underwent a significant transformation from being humans. So humans meaning a people who move from place to place, kanang wala din sila kanang tarong kanang kulay-anan. So they constantly moving in search of food and shelter. So settling down and establishing permanent communities such as Monumental shaped the way to rise the early civilization. So where advanced societies began to take shape. And next, please read through. Tatanan na po ulit.
Significant contributions to art even during the Ottoman Egyptian art was central to religious and spiritual practices. Themes and purposes of art were deeply rooted in beliefs and rituals. Unearthed artworks offer a
daily lives, beliefs, and traditions. So the Egyptian civilization stands out as one of the earliest and most influential cultures where art thrived from the era of the Old Kingdom, which is the Paleolithic, the Middle Kingdom, which is the Mesolithic, and the New Kingdom, which is the Neolithic. So art was deeply intertwined with religious and spiritual life. So even during the Armana Revolution, a very significant artistic change under the pharaoh. So pharaoh is the husband of the queen Nefertiti. The art reflected the evolving beliefs of the time. So this preserved artworks including the sculptures, murals, and hieroglyphs, and serve as a bridge to the past and offered invaluable insights into how present civilization shape. So that concludes our topics, lesson 7, art in early civilization.
Congratulations.